Hello and welcome to this little video introduction to the new features of Fritz 11. Maybe the most important feature in Fritz 11 is the new calculation training. The ability to properly calculate ahead in practical over-the-board play is extremely important for your playing strengths. With Fritz 11 you can interactively train this, and though this needs a lot of concentration and you need to properly structure your thoughts, it's fun to do it, because Fritz 11 offers some nice ways of assistance. You can start calculation training wherever you like. You load a game from the database like we have done here, or you could also do this while kibitzing games on the chess server playchess.com. This is very nice because in a live game, while the grandmaster falls in a long thought, you can on your own start to calculate variations. In the classical chess program which we have in front of us, you fire up calculation training by calling menu tools, training, calculation training. Notice how the board display changes, and let's try what could we do for white here. One move which immediately comes into mind is pushing the pawn against the black pawn structure defending the king. f6 with a concrete threat on h7, and let's say black reacts by h6. Notice how I enter moves and how these moves appear in the game notation, and nothing moves on the board. And this is the point of calculation training. You analyze by moving on the board, but the pieces stay in the original position, so that you have to envision the position with your inner eye, so to speak. So what can white do after this move h6? This of course invites the bishop sacrifice. Bishop takes h6, and if black recaptures, the deadly queen check on g4 finishes the game. So now we go back to try to find an improvement for black here. We saw that h6 was refuted, so we go here and we look at g7, g6, which looks stronger, and we make it a main line. Notice how this dialog of input new move appears like it would show up at this position in normal interactive analysis with a chess program. So you decide that this new move should be the new main line, and you continue calculation from here. So after g6, let's check this very promising rook sacrifice. Rook takes h7, king recaptures, and now finishing off with check and mate on h7. We overlooked that, of course, the pawn on g6 can capture the queen. Or can it? Let me show you the first of the feedback functions in calculation training. You can always check the legality of the moves you entered, because in calculation training you are allowed to enter illegal moves. Because in real life calculation nobody checks whether you think about legal or illegal moves. So call up to check this function to check the legality, and capturing the queen is an illegal move for black, because of course the pawn is pinned here by the bishop on d3 and the king is on h7. So black in this position has to retreat the king, and we override our illegal move with this new move king g8 override. And then white nicely finishes up the game with queen h6. So no way to defend the mate on g7, now is there? Any nasty in between check? Oh yeah, black has a very painful check on g2. Recapturing is forced, and after this little double attack of the queen, check, king retreats our valuable mate-threatening pawn on f6 is lost. And black has the upper hand. So the rook sacrifice on h7 wasn't that strong, but let's finally go back to the first position, retreat the move to get to the starting position, and let's try the better alternative. Queen h5. This should be the new main line, and after the forced h6, black's pawn structure gets decisively disrupted by this motive again. Okay, so we have seen that we can check the legality of the moves. We can do this again. Okay, no illegal moves. We could now fire up the engine to assign a score to our calculation. This will take 2 minutes or so. We won't do this now. And then Fritz gives you a score depending on the strength of your moves. You get negative points for blunders, highly positive scores for deep combinations, and for trivial recaptures you get 1 point. But you could also very simply start up the engine here and click somewhere in your notation, and without seeing the actual position on the board, you can at least show it to the engine and check whether you see tactical blunders here. When you have finished calculation training, you close this, and then Fritz asks you, would you like to insert the calculation moves into your main notation? And if you say yes, then finally you can go there and replay it on the board.